Good afternoon, Tigers. It is Friday, March 1st. It's the first of the month. So let's get into announcements right now.
Congratulations to our current 7th graders and newly accepted HC students who will be continuing their educational journey here at HC next year. Today after school, we will have a signing for our Tigers.
Come on, let's go.
All right, Tigers. Come out tomorrow as our varsity baseball team takes on Doyle here at HC at 10 a.m. And also good luck to our track and field Tigers who will be participating in the Carver Classic and Joe Brown Park for 9 a.m. 2 things you should support, Tigers: baseball and track and field.
Sunday, we'll have our first father-son senior cornhole tournament. There will be food, music, and a whole lot of fun, and I will win. So be ready, Tigers. What are you doing? Catholic Charity Access Pregnancy Services are sponsoring their annual March for Life in March event at Rockin' Bowl on Friday, March 8th at 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. It is going to feature special guest Miss Gail Benson. The special event, hosted by Access and supported by the Archdiocese CYO office, is open to all pro-life high school students in 8th through 12th grade. It's a reunion-style event for those who went on March for Life pilgrimage to Washington, D.C. for the National March for Life event in January. A get-together party for your pro-life club members and an opportunity for fellowship among all students who respect life. That guy right there definitely respects life. He'll probably be there for $15 per student, $20 at the door, and for adults. Food, drink, bowling, photo ops, special prizes, and Miss Benson's presentation will all be included in that. Go to Rockin' Bowl, bowl a strike like our awesome bowling Tigers.
Teen Cross, Catholic Reaching Out in Self-Service, is our Archdiocesan Youth Council made up of teens from each parish and Catholic high school in the Archdiocese. The mission of the group is to help young leaders deepen their personal relationship with Jesus Christ, grow in their faith journey, and help develop their leadership skills. The goal of the group is that members would use what they learn in Teen Cross to assist with planning and implementation of an Archdiocesan-wide youth event, as well as events in their parish and other school programs, foster spiritual growth among their peers, and to represent the concerns and ideas of young people to the Archbishop. Students will serve a 1 school year term, June 2024 to May 2025. If you are interested in information, please see Mr. Ferry.
Hey guys, I'm here with star baseball player Jay Disler. Jay, what are you giving up for Lent this year?
I'm giving up sugar cookies, and I'm giving up Sour Patch Kids because I really like Sour Patch Kids.
Good.
All right, we're here with Miss Opalaby, and she's gonna answer a couple questions. What'd you give up for Lent?
Social media.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Well, she's gonna tell us what she gave up for Lent.
So I actually did not give up anything for Lent. I decided to add to my Lenten mission by every day writing a little more, because I used to write a lot and then started teaching don't write as much anymore. So I've been writing more, and I've actually been doing a Lenten journal where I write a little something to God every day. So that's been really nice.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm here with Coach Logan Pusker, head coach of the bowling team. Now I know the bowling team is 6-2 this year. Can you just talk about how dominant this team has been so far?
Yeah, certainly an uptick since the last few years. We beat Brother Martin, they're defending champs. That was a big one for us. We shot 3,500 over 18 games, which for reference, our previous high last year, I think that was like a 3,100. So again, 400 pins above what they were averaging last year, which is big time. Yeah, we're excited. And there's a lot of good things happening. Last week we not necessarily struggled, but kind of came back down to surface a little bit. We were kind of bowling above average and a little under last week. So just looking to kind of stay on the right track, learn how to pick up our spares a little bit better. Yeah, there's a lot of good things happening. So.
Yeah, I know we've got a lot of strong bowlers, especially a lot of the senior class too. Do you think with this team we have a possibility of winning state this year?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you can beat Brother Martin, you can beat anybody. They have the highest averages again going into the year, so yeah, it's definitely possible.
And now bowling historically is not one of the most recognized sports of Holy Cross. What can we do as a Holy Cross family to really try and support y'all?
Yeah, we need you guys to show up. I mean, I think you'd be surprised how loud it gets and how excited the boys get, especially in a good match. So there's definitely the student section advantage. If you guys show up, that'd be huge. March 11th against Rommel.
All right, y'all usually have games on Mondays and Thursdays?
Typically, yeah.
All right, you heard it here, Tigers. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Of Ben Franklin and the Holy Cross Tigers just before the half. Free kick for Ben Franklin. Jacob Chapatow fights through traffic, and he does a great job right here on the set piece, and they score. That made it 1-0 Falcons. Second half, free kick opportunity for Holy Cross. What would have been the save ends with a great save there by the Falcons. They avoid the threat. They stay on top 1-0. 59th minute, Holy Cross threatening. Eric Santamaria's cross cleaned up by Grayson Sirkovich. And it was a pretty play right there to knock it in the back of the net. That makes it 1-0. Now in the 73rd minute, here's what we were talking about right here. This is just so unfortunate. I don't know what else to say there. The young man meant to kick it, and instead it went past him, and that gave Holy Cross a 2-1 lead. Falcons, it's tough to watch.
Yeah, that he's going to need some consoling.
Yep. And you know what? There was some sportsmanship after this game that I think is important, and we'll get to that in a minute. Holy Cross holds off Ben Franklin. Tigers win the state championship 2-1 over the Falcons. Here's Richie Mills in Hammond.
A bizarre ending to the Division II championship game. Holy Cross defeats Ben Franklin 2-1, courtesy of a heartbreaking self-inflicted wound in the second half. An own goal in the 73rd minute that would prove to be fatal for the Falcons.
You know, you see it sometimes in the game. Feel terrible for the keeper. That's something that you don't want to see a keeper deal with, but I mean, I thought we were better in the second half. We put ourselves in those positions to create a chance or a half chance. I said when they passed the ball back to him, I had Eric was pressing, and I said, man, that's going to be a problem potentially. And I thought he might nick the ball from the kid, but the kid missed it and win the goal. So, I mean, I thought we were the better team in the second half. We worked really hard and created chances. So, I mean, is it a fair result? I think it's a fair result.
After the game, a sign of sportsmanship from Holy Cross, who consoled Ben Franklin after the devastating loss. The Tigers congratulating the Falcons soccer program for making it to their second straight state championship game.
We're proximity, a mile away from them? I mean, this is a derby match. We know all those kids. They know our kids. You know, there were some tough fouls there, and people were helping each other up. And that's what you want to see in this game. You want to fight hard, but you also want to help each other up. People cramping, giving high fives to the other team and stuff. That's what sports is all about.
We honor an educator in our area making lifelong impressions on their students.
February's Golden Apple recipient is a teacher who is sharing his interest in World War II history with his students. Kelsey Davis introduces us to Holy Cross's Michael Arvides.
Air and everything else to land on where it's supposed to go. Yeah. There's a whole setup in a V-17, and when they get over...
And one thing I always say, like with teaching, is if the teacher's enthusiastic about a subject matter, their kids are going to pick up on that.
And it's impossible to overlook Michael Arvides' enthusiasm for history, specifically World War II history, when you walk into his classroom at Holy Cross.
So it really started with my grandfather, and he served in World War II, and then we got to hear him tell some stories when I was about 9 or so, and he had never told these to his family at all. And so it was just really incredible to kind of hear those and then to put him in this giant event that changed the world.
A few years ago, Arvides launched a World War II history class.
Now let me ask you this question. How many of you...
Utilizing traditional and contemporary tools to reach his Gen Z students.
One day he might be lecturing, another day he might be showing us a video and then telling us about the video. And then others where it's like the podcast where he says, all right, you're gonna study this topic, and he gives us an option of them.
Hello and welcome to Tigers by the Fire, a podcast out of Holy Cross High School about World War II discussions and stories. This is episode 2 of season 4.
And he says, all right, go through, find all the information about it, and then present it yourself.
Arvides also takes advantage of the wealth of resources in our backyard at the National World War II Museum.
We go to the World War II Museum, and it's always a different exhibit. It's not the same thing over and over. It's a different exhibit, and sometimes it's only temporary exhibits that are only there for a week or two.
Well, part of it was just a good fortune that we had the National World War II Museum here in New Orleans. So it just made perfect sense to us to partner with them as best we could to challenge our students in this area.
But Arvides' lessons don't stop there.
So we got to spend a week in DC, and then we got to go to Normandy and actually be at the sites where all the action happened.
Senior Matthew Gorbati traveled with Arvides on a trip to visit World War II sites in Europe.
Right now, it's such a beautiful place, and it's hard to think of you know, all this atrocity that happened there.
We went to London, England, Portsmouth, England, and then Normandy, France, and Paris.
In one attempt to explain a person's life with a...
And then they come back from that and they are just blown away because they learn about these places, but actually seeing them in person, I think, is the big kicker.
Principal Bill Gallagher appreciates Arvides using a variety of methods to reach all of his students. He says it fosters curiosity, the want to become lifelong learners, and prepares them to be leaders.
And so it's very important that they explore what led to such a huge disaster. And, you know, with the practical hopes of avoiding it in the future.
It helps understand like the whole line of like what's happened in the past 100 years and what, and why stuff happening currently is based off of what happened in the past.
And that's also Arvides' hope. He wants the sacrifices of the greatest generation to help his students better process the current state of world affairs.
You can't understand how China becomes communist and has this whole communist revolution without understanding World War II. When you looked at Russia's invasion of the Ukraine, you know, they were accusing Ukraine of being a fascist regime. Israel is going to become a nation in the aftermath of World War II, and so all of these issues that are really front and center are still there.
Reporting at Holy Cross High School in New Orleans, Kelsey Davis, Fox 8 Local First.